What's good, gang? How are we doing today? My name is Exo Reacts and welcome back to another video. I know normally we're like reacting to music, my mom's reacting to something, or we're doing reaction live streams, but today I thought I'd do something different because let's face it, Russia's attacking Ukraine, nuclear war could be on the horizon. We're gonna watch why you wouldn't survive World War III. Let's see how accurate he is compared to how life is going now.
You're jolted awake by the sound of blaring sirens.
Okay.
In a daze, you look around the dimly lit room. Through the curtains comes a blood-red glow. You
Yikes.
slowly walk toward the window and pull back the curtains.
And just
An
a nuke
intense
chilling.
light from outside
Lit.
is blinding. You bring your arm up to your face to shield your eyes. As you squint to bring the world into focus, you see something looming in the distance. A mushroom cloud the size of a mountain rises from the ground.
Can you imagine
It's finally
just seeing a nuclear bomb outside your window when you wake up? That'd be quite the way to wake up. Talk about an alarm clock, huh?
happened. World War III has begun, and you most likely won't survive it.
Facts.
You run across the room and grab your cell phone. It's dead. The EMP blast from the nuke has wiped out all electronics and microchips in the surrounding
So basically what you're
area.
telling me is rip my computer. Okay, boys, so we can't stream during World War III. That's an L.
You run to grab the survival kit you built based on one of your favorite infographic show videos. It has everything you need to survive a doomsday scenario.
Little plug.
You take out the crank radio and you turn it. Over the static comes a crackling voice. The announcer confirms what you've been afraid of this whole time.
World War
The voice
III.
on the radio, it fades in and out. You can only make out pieces of the announcement, but it's clear what's happening. The
World War
world has
III.
broken out into all-out war. This is nothing like past world wars with soldiers, tanks, and planes. No, this war is all about nukes, cyber hackers, and space. The voice on the
Yikes.
radio relays which cities have been hit. It started with Washington, D.C., then Hong Kong. Retaliation from the Chinese took out Los Angeles, then the nukes were launched at Moscow. The Middle East in its plumes of fiery oil and gas. Mainland Europe is at
Wow.
war with Britain. Almost every major city in the world has been hit.
Wow.
Billions of lives have been lost instantly.
Billions.
But what about you and the others who were lucky enough to survive the initial blasts? Could you survive World War III? Probably not, but let's see what might be in store for you. As you
Okay.
prepare to leave your house and seek shelter in more rural areas, you hear the radio announcer trying to determine how the carnage started.
Okay.
It seems that no one's quite sure who launched first or who the aggressor was.
So
Before
basically
World War
whoever
III
launched
broke out,
first
there-
would just ultimately end the world. That's what he's trying to say here. Washington, D.C. gets it, then Hong Kong, then Russia, and we're just all screwed at that point.
There were some ominous conflicts brewing. You hear a shuffling of papers as the broadcaster organizes his notes. He, like everyone else left on Earth, is trying to make sense of what's happening. The announcer begins his rundown of what sparked World War III and the end of the world as you know it.
Fallout,
this all
baby.
could have been avoided if the United States and Iran maintained diplomatic relations instead of blowing up each other's military assets, he says. Or maybe it all started with North Korea threatening the United States over and over again.
They do
Then
that a
someone with
lot.
a happy trigger finger launched the first nuke. My best guess, continues the broadcaster, was that China had finally caught up to the military strength of the US, and differences in ideology led to a conflict that may very well end up eradicating all of humanity.
Facts. So dope. So basically whoever launches first, obviously retaliation, then everyone else gets into it. We'd love to see it.
Grab your survival kit. Thank you to the infographic show for helping you to prepare for a doomsday
That's two subtle plugs, boys. We need to make our freaking infographic survival kit so this doesn't happen to us, so we survive World War III.
scenario, and you walk out of your house. Planes have fallen out of the sky and lay in fiery wrecks around your neighborhood. The EMP blasts from the nukes fried their controls and caused many to fall from the sky.
Wow.
You start walking down the street. You know the radiation from the nuclear explosion is enough to cause third-degree burns even if you're miles away.
Wow.
Not to mention even small doses of radiation can cause mutations in your DNA, which can lead to cancer and other diseases.
Or turn you into Wolverine.
Just by being within eyesight of the nuclear explosion of World War III means you might not survive. Then suddenly something enters the atmosphere causing a sonic boom. You look
Oh.
up and shield your eyes as a fireball careens toward the ground. The object smashes into your house, causing it to ignite in a fiery explosion.
That's a
You run
satellite.
back to see what happened. Where your house once stood, there is now a large crater. On one of the metal shards that's sticking out of the earth, you see some writing. You kick the debris off to clear the dirt. The acronym NASA adorns the metal plate. The fireball that fell from the sky and destroyed your house
It
was
was
a
a
satellite.
satellite,
This is a new type of warfare, you think, the warfare of space. You look up into the sky and see flashes of light beyond the atmosphere. World War III has gone beyond the terrestrial world and now includes the cosmos. Crude rockets are launched to take control of the International Space Station. It's not a military asset per se, but it offers a strategic advantage. From the ISS, rockets and other spacecraft can be refueled. Satellites can be manipulated, and data using onboard sensors and cameras can be relayed to the military.
Wow.
World War III has now weaponized space. outer space is not the only battleground that's not on the planet's surface. Hackers have turned cyberspace into a war zone as well.
Yikes.
They've taken control of military assets on both sides
So it looks
of the
like
war.
we'd be dropping Verdansk or what?
These hackers might be working for the opposition or just for themselves. Either way, they've hacked into satellite guidance systems and military computers. And this war is not led just by the generals of the military, but by the tech geeks who command the world of code as well.
Wow.
World War III is a physical war and a cyber war.
Both.
Since your coding skills are not up to par,
And a space
you figure
war.
it's best to get away from populated areas and the technology that's
It's a good thing
associated with
Trump
it.
made
You never know.
the Space Force, because if he didn't have the Space Force, we'd be screwed out there in space, huh? Cyber war.
When a hacker will take over one of the military's autonomous robots or drones and send it after you.
You don't
There's
know.
no way I'm going to survive this, you think, as you head toward the city limits. As you run toward the tree line on the outskirts of town, you begin to cough. There's smoke coming out of the forest. What fresh hell is this, you think? You head for higher ground to survey the area that used to be a protected state park. You climb the ladder of a water tower and take out the binoculars from your survival kit. Where would I be without all the survival tips from the infographic show?
Look at him. That's 3 plugs in this video, boys. Where would we be if we didn't have the survival tips from the infographic show? Seriously, though. Check out the video down below. They're goats. They really are.
Probably already dead. From the water tower, you see that the forest is ablaze. Smoke pours out of the treetops and into the air. When the nuke went off, the
Yeah.
residual heat ignited part of the forest, and now the uncontrollable blaze is burning away
Every tree in its path.
This is all happening around the world. It's at this point you realize you are in big trouble. Yeah, you were in trouble before, but now you see what the future holds.
Okay.
Winter is coming. And it's not the Game of Thrones version. The winter that's coming for you
It's
is
nuclear winter, boys. That means Fallout 4 will be an actual thing.
There's no way you're going to make it through this alive. The weapon of choice for World War III is
the nuke, obviously.
Unfortunately for all of humanity, nuclear explosions have long-term effects that are more widespread than just the initial explosion.
Okay.
You leave the urban area that was once home and head for the rural lands away from any major hub of civilization.
Facts.
You figure that the safest place to be during World War III is where there is little technology and even fewer people.
I
You find an
guess.
abandoned coal mine that's been drilled into a mountain. The thick rock walls provide you some protection from radiation and keeps you shielded from the natural elements. Your new cave home keeps you alive for a little while longer, but how much longer will you be able to survive with nuclear winter on the horizon?
You won't be able to. So basically, we'll devolve from normal human beings into back to cavemen. And then once we're cavemen, it's just chalked because obviously we already were cavemen launching nukes at each other. You know what I mean? So the survivors will be forced to do that. Oh, we love it.
As you step out of your cave in the middle of the afternoon, the first thing you notice is that it's dark. The
Yikes.
smoke, soot, and debris that's been flung up into the atmosphere by the nuclear explosions is suspended in the air. The superheated air around where the bombs went off forced particles from the surface to rise. The debris in the atmosphere has blocked out the sun. Earth's temperature has begun to cool. You're in the early stages of nuclear winter. In the days that
Nice.
follow the beginning of World War III, soot and smoke from the smoldering remains of cities enters the atmosphere. The nuclear blasts melt everything from plastics to metal and release harmful chemicals into the air. This not only began blocking out the sun, but vast amount of carcinogens and other chemicals are swept across
So
the
if we wanted to just completely annihilate the human race, we just launch nukes at each other, huh? Because obviously first the explosions on both sides, then nuclear winter, then the earth cools to about, what, negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit, and then billions already dead. It's just chalked.
the planet by wind. No one's safe from the nuclear fallout. Next came the firestorms. The cities where nuclear devices exploded are on fire. The surrounding towns are on fire. The forests are on fire.
Wow.
These fires never get a chance to burn out before the wind sweeps them across the planet. In the United States, the fires in Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Seattle are swept across the Great Plains, causing the entire Midwest to burn. In
Wow.
Russia, even with its freezing temperatures, the forests are ablaze. Anything that could catch fire did catch fire. No one's safe from the flames of the nuclear holocaust.
We're
And
not.
with those flames, smoke and dust rise into the atmosphere.
Ensuring that all the sunlight is gone forever, pretty much. Dope.
Sunlight won't shine on Earth for weeks. And after weeks of no sunlight, it starts to snow. It isn't white snow like you played in as a child, but
But
black snow. What
Nice.
falls from the sky is all the soot and debris from the fires that are burning the planet. The charred black snow covers the ground. At least the sun's back, you think? Unfortunately,
It
it's
is too late.
The lack of sunlight has caused the Earth's temperature to drop
Hello?
and nuclear winter to begin. You lived through nuclear bombs exploding, you lived through fires engulfing the planet, you lived through black snow falling from the sky, but now that nuclear winter has started, you most certainly won't live to see the return of summer. The days go by and World War III is slowed down, not because there's a clear victor, but because everyone is a loser.
Facts.
The human species has lost. You are one of the few remaining individuals of a now endangered species. After the black snow begins to fall, the temperature declines by 30 degrees Fahrenheit.
That was close.
Killer frosts and sub-freezing temperatures wipe out much of the remaining plant and animal life on Earth. You struggle to find anything to eat and unpolluted water to drink. You subsist entirely off of old army rations you found at an abandoned military base.
And you make sure you have plenty of bottle caps because that will be the new currency.
Even in the extremely cold temperature, your body burns from the inside. There's no escaping the radiation that was ejected into the air from the hundreds of nuclear explosions. Like you, plants and animals around the world are suffering from burns and harmful mutations caused by the radiation. Evolution cannot keep up with the rapidly cooling planet and changing environments. Almost all life on Earth goes extinct. You sit in the mouth of your cave and look out at the once smoldering, now freezing world created by World War III. Some humans who reached fallout shelters will survive longer than you. It'll be years before all the soot and dust particles descend from the atmosphere. It will be decades before the radiation from nuclear fallout decreases to livable levels.
Wow.
It'll be centuries before life is able to bounce back from the devastation World War III has caused to this planet Earth. And it'll be millennia before the climate and ecosystems in heavily hit areas return to stability. You will not survive World War III. If you're able to make it through a nuclear attack without being incinerated in the initial blast, avoid being poisoned by the radioactive fallout, or getting killed by collateral damage, then you'll be one of the lucky few. But like most life on the planet, you'll not be able to survive the nuclear winter that follows World War III. There will be no winners in this type of war. On a positive note, life on Earth will eventually bounce back. Humans are currently messing up the planet in many ways, and someday we might be our own demise.
That's
but
facts.
planet Earth will carry on. Thousands of years after the end of World War III, when nuclear winter has subsided and the climate patterns become stable under new norms, life will evolve to thrive in a post-human, post-World War III world. Who knows what life will be capable of after World War III eliminates all humans on the planet? It's too bad you won't be around to see it. If you're worried about how likely World War III is in the future, then check out our video, What are the chances of
World War III? That's insane. So yeah, obviously, right? That was a good video. I always love watching the infographic show. He really put it into light. And I know I made a few jokes here and there, but for real though, nuclear war would destroy us all and just be shocked. So that is why we hope that that never happens. No one ever decides to drop a nuke again. But until then, we can just watch videos about them and pray to God we don't have to get into a power armor suit one day. Anyways, so boys, thank you guys so much for watching. Comment down below if you think World War III ever will start. Hit the like button if you did enjoy. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and turn on post noties. Stay positive, stay grinding, don't ever give up. I'll see y'all boys in the next video. Peace out.